Hey guys, I just wanted to say a few things about this video in which I am basically demonstrating how to car top a kayak by yourself into J-hooks, which I personally think is one of the hardest things you can do. It's not something I do often. It's way easier with two people. So if you can do it with two people, that's the way to go. But I just wanted to show it can be done. But I just wanted to preface this video by saying that there are a lot of other systems out there for transporting kayaks on top of a car, preferably with crossbars. But there's a lot of other systems out there that, you know, is worth looking at. Some of them are way more expensive than others. You know, I have been reading a lot of people posting about the Elevator, which actually lets the bars drop down more shoulder height. You load it and it actually lifts it up for you. They're pretty expensive from what I've heard. Thule also makes a system, I think they call it DockGlide or something like that, where you can actually just slide, they make a slide pad that you slide the kayak up on, and then it's going to sit in a cradle for the actual bottom of the hull of the kayak. So the kayak's basically sitting flat on top of your roof racks or crossbars. And if you're only, you know, transporting two kayaks, that should be fine. With the J-hooks, I would say the big advantage with these J-hook hull raisers, it essentially is putting the kayak up on its side vertical. You can fit a lot more. You can fit 3-4 kayaks on top of a regular size car if you've got crossbars doing it that way. And it's just what I first learned to do, and it's kind of what I've been doing for years now. So I just wanted to kind of say, you know, look what's out there, especially if you are going to be doing it by yourself all the time. There's way easier systems out there for you to look into and invest in. So I wanted to also say, if you're using J-hook uprights and you're putting a kayak up vertical, think about what type of kayak it is, because when you're putting it up sideways like that, it's going to be way up in the air. It's now sticking up like a sail. It's going to catch wind if there's a crosswind. And I do know from the past when we have transported, especially say a sit-on top in this method, those sit-on tops are very, very wide kayaks. They're way wider than a lot of your other kayaks out there. So the sit-on tops were a lot harder to get up there. They're very wide. They're hard to manhandle and get up into that side position. And I just felt like it was a lot of stress and pressure on those J-hooks, because now, you know, if this is the back of the kayak, that J-hook's only coming up like maybe halfway up the back of the hull supporting it, and then your strap's going over. So if you're transporting a really wide sit-on top or a really wide wreck kayak, I don't know, you might want to think about another system. But for just regular size boats, whitewater kayaks, sea kayaks, which are very narrow and a lot easier to put into these J-hooks, you should find this system to work really, really well. So I just wanted to kind of say that, you know, for you to think about when you are looking at how you're going to transport your kayak. But this video is going to show you how to do it by yourself, putting it in J-hooks, if that is what you have to do. This is the system that I have figured out how to do it. And even if you are doing it with two people, I think this video will still offer a couple of hints and tricks that I've learned using the J-hooks over time. Even with two people, I still do the same method of putting the strap first, throwing it to the other side of the car, getting the kayak in place, throwing them back over. We've even learned how to sandwich two kayaks up against, we take one and sandwich it up against the one in the J-hook. As long as it's resting on the crossbars with some type of padding. We've actually been able to cinch two kayaks down that way. And I've put 4 kayaks on top of my car that way before. But that's probably not the preferable way. I think they would technically say, you know, to have 2 J-hooks for every boat that you're transporting. So I hope this video is helpful, and please leave comments on what your preferred system is and what you have found works best for you, and leave me any questions you might have. And if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what other videos you might like. Thanks. Hey guys, Jamie with Mountains River Sea. This is a Wilderness Systems Aspire 10.5 that I'm about to transport, and I got it up there all by myself, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And the idea is, if I can put this almost 50-pound 10.5-foot boat up here by myself, then I'm thinking I can probably do just about any other of my kayaks, because this one is a little on the heavier side. Even my longer sea kayaks are actually probably about the same weight range, maybe even lighter than this. So I'm going to just show you how I did that. Stay tuned. Just to show y'all everything I'm using to load the kayak by myself, I've got these Yakima cinch straps, which basically you feed the strap through the back, and this device, as you pull it through frontwards, it actually just cinches down and locks it. And then to let it out, you have to actually push on this little lever, this release lever, to pull the strap back out. That's the only way the strap will go backwards, is if you open it up like that. Otherwise it stays locked down, and every time you pull it through, it just stays wherever you leave it. So that's the Yakima cinch strap with this rubberized buckle to protect it. And then my system is, I've just got Yakima crossbars, and then I've got Yakima J-hook, you know, uprights is what I call them, but they're also called hole raisers. So I just want to show you real quick these Yakima cinch straps that, you know, if it's facing you like that, you're going to take the pointy flat end, you're going to feed it in through the back like that, okay? And I kind of push this down while I do that, because then I can see through it, and it'll feed through a lot quicker. So you kind of just push that button, that release lever, and that way you can get it started. Once you've fed it through, then kind of like threading a needle, right? Now when I pull, as I pull that through, it will not go back, okay? It cinches down on itself, and there's no way for that to be released unless you push on that release lever, and then you can pull it back out. So I squeeze that down. Now I can pull it back out. Hey guys, I'm going to show y'all how I load a kayak and put it into J-hooks or uprights on my car by myself. Step one is, I usually have the J-hooks laying down when I'm driving around, so I've got them rocked back up in the upper position. Next thing I'm going to do is get my straps in place, because what I do is I actually get the straps where I need them to be anchored, get them out of the way, load the kayak, throw the straps over the kayak, and then I can loop them around my crossbar. So I'm just going to show y'all how to do that. And these are just little alligator teeth. I don't know if that's what you call them. You just feed that through, get it to cinch down, and then I'm just going to kind of throw that over the other side of the car. And I'm going to need it to kind of be up there, ideally. It'll stay there, hopefully, while I'm loading, because that's where it's going to be when it comes back over the kayak to hold it down on top of my car. So I just kind of get those. If you have something that could kind of hold it right there, that'd probably be smart, because they do try to slide down sometimes, but we'll see if it does it. Make sure those J-hook uprights are tight and where you want them. Try to get them lined up as even and as straight as you can, so when you put your boat on, it's not at an angle, because that'll really
decrease your gas mileage and put a lot of pressure on the kayak while you're traveling. So you want it completely parallel with the car. And then the other thing you're going to need is a bath mat, preferably with a nice rubberized side and then a soft carpeted side to protect the back of your car. So first thing I'm going to do is just get my bath mat in place, doormat in place, so I can slide the kayak up there. So if you're picking up kind of a heavier kayak by yourself, I'm going to try to do it the way I learned from all the canoers, the way they pick up a canoe by themselves. Same kind of method. So I learned this from all the canoe guys. You're going to actually lean it up away from yourself, and then you're going to kind of use your thighs to support that edge, and that way you can have it up. You need it to be shoulder height for carrying. Lean it up there against the back of your car. Let the car and the mat take the weight. Grab the back and slide it up there on that mat onto your crossbars. You can see I've left just enough room on the crossbars for the kayak, and that way I can still reach the J-hook uprights as well. And then the last thing I need to do is get it into the J-hooks. Okay, I've got the kayak up there. Now I've got to get it over sideways into the uprights. I'm just going to kind of shimmy it front onto the bottom of those J-hooks, shimmy the back on there. Okay, now it's at a little bit of a lean, and it's going to stay right there for me, especially with those grooves in the hull. Now I can get back up here and try to get it up to those J-hooks. Okay, and you want it centered. You want that cockpit kind of sitting right where the uprights are. You don't want it too far forward, too far back. You want sort of the very middle of the boat centered in between those two uprights, okay? And once I got it where I want it, now I'm going to throw my ropes back over and cinch it down. Okay, I got my boat where I want it. Now I got to tie her down. Here's my ropes waiting on me. All I'm going to do now, toss them back over. Toss them back over. And, you know, I can see that they're anchored where I need them to be at the very top of the upright. Now you're just going to take that strap. I like to put the clip kind of halfway in the cockpit right there, just so it doesn't get caught on anything. And then you're going to feed it under the bar and back up through the back of the mouth on those teeth. And then you're just going to cinch it down. And like I said, I kind of like it to be right here so it's not against my actual boat. You're just going to pull that down nice and tight, and you're going to do that on the same thing on the front, and then you're just going to check it and make sure it's secure. I'll pull them till they really won't go anymore. You don't want to pull it so tight you're cracking the plastic of your boat, but you're going to pull till those don't give anymore. And then I usually just wrap this around a couple times just so it's not flapping in the wind as I'm driving. I'll kind of cinch that down, and then you're ready to transport wherever you're going. Alright guys, just getting that front one cinched down nice and snug. That thing ain't going anywhere. Always check it. If you drive for a little while, if you go through any rain or anything and these get wet, or you just let these sit overnight, the next morning, go ahead and recheck them. You know, it's made out of cloth. It's fiber. It will stretch. So if they get wet or they sit overnight, and you come out to leave the next day, you're probably going to be able to pull down another centimeter or two. Go ahead and get them taut again before you take off. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hey guys, last thing I want to say about loading a kayak by yourself is I've been driving this car for years and loading kayaks for years, and I've kind of just gotten used to climbing up in the door frame and putting my foot right here, but honestly it does slip sometimes, so please be careful. They actually make a step pedal foot hold that you can clip in to the door right here. That would be a lot safer. I actually need to get one. So getting the little step, the little foot step that stands right here, or actually just getting a step ladder, you know, getting a 3 or 4 step stool step ladder to help you be able to reach the top of, in this case, a small SUV. So if you're trying to access the top of a small SUV and you're, you know, not 6'3" or taller, then that would probably be my recommendation. So I just wanted to mention that to y'all, to try to be as safe as possible with that, and, you know, be very careful when you are reaching up or stepping up high like that.